Hey there, awesome human beings, and welcome back to the channel where we unravel the mysteries of life, one fascinating concept at a time. Ever find yourself scrolling through TikTok at 3 a.m., feeling that familiar pang of dread about your job, your finances, or just, the general chaos of existence? Yeah, me too. We've all been there. But what if I told you there's a timeless philosophy, forged in the fires of ancient Greece and Rome, that can equip you with the mental armor to face anything life throws your way? Imagine, for a moment, having the cool, calm, collected demeanor of a Roman emperor, not the kind who throws wild orgies, but the kind who could rule an empire with unshakable resolve. Picture Marcus Aurelius, chilling on his throne, probably writing some epic journal entries, while the world outside was just doing its thing. Sounds pretty sweet, right? Well, today, we're diving headfirst into the world of Stoicism. But not just any Stoicism. We're putting Sharon Lebell's fantastic little gem, The Stoic Guide, a handbook for new explorers, under the microscope. Now, you might be thinking, another self-help book? Yawn. And I get it. The internet is flooded with them. But Lebell's book, it's different. It's concise, it's digestible, and it makes ancient wisdom feel, well, today. It's like she took all those dusty old texts and translated them into plain English for us mere mortals, which, let's be honest, is a superpower in itself. So, the big question on everyone's mind is, does the Stoic Guide truly live up to the hype? Can a relatively short book really teach you how to navigate the absolute madness of 21st century life with the grace of a seasoned philosopher? That's exactly what we're here to find out. This isn't just a book review. It's a practical deep dive to see if Lebell's approach can actually make a tangible difference in your daily grind. Are you ready to unlock your inner wise person? Let's do this. Key principles and practices. Deconstructing Stoicism. All right, buckle up, buttercups, because we're about to deconstruct the very DNA of Stoicism as presented by Sharon Lebell. Forget those intimidating, thick philosophical tomes that make your eyes glaze over faster than a Krispy Kreme donut. Lebell breaks it down into bite-sized, digestible chunks, and trust me, your brain will thank you for it. At the heart of Stoicism, according to Lebell and every other Stoic worth their salt, are four cardinal virtues: wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. Now, these aren't just fancy words to throw around at a dinner party. These are your foundational building blocks for a well-lived life. Wisdom. This isn't about being a know-it-all. It's about knowing what's truly good, what's bad, and what's indifferent. It's about exercising good judgment and understanding what's within your control and what isn't. Lebell brilliantly simplifies this by framing it as a practical understanding of how the world works and how you fit into it. Think of it as your internal GPS, always guiding you towards the right path, even when you're stuck in traffic. Justice. This isn't just about the legal system. It's about treating others fairly, with kindness and respect. It's about recognizing our shared humanity. Lebell emphasizes the importance of community and our interconnectedness, reminding us that we're all in this crazy ride together. So, next time you're tempted to cut someone off in line at Starbucks, maybe channel your inner Marcus Aurelius and practice a little justice. Your barista will thank you. Courage. This isn't about being fearless. It's about acting rightly in the face of fear. It's about standing up for what's right, even when it's uncomfortable. Lebell brings this to life with examples of facing internal battles, the fear of failure, the fear of judgment, as much as external ones. It's the courage to be vulnerable, to try new things, and to pick yourself up when you stumble. Temperance, or moderation. This is about self-mastery, finding balance in all things. It's about controlling your desires and impulses. Lebell makes it clear that this isn't about deprivation, but about intentionality. It's about knowing when to say yes, and more importantly, when to say no to that third slice of pizza. Though, let's be real, sometimes that third slice is just necessary. But Lebell doesn't just throw these virtues at you and say, "Go forth and be wise." Oh no, she gives you the tools to actually practice them. And this is where things get really interesting, because she dives into some truly powerful Stoic exercises. First up, and probably the most mind-bending for beginners, is negative visualization. Now, this isn't about dwelling on the doom and gloom. Quite the opposite. Lebell explains it as consciously imagining losing the things you cherish. Your job, your health, your relationships. Sounds morbid, right? But here's the genius of it. By contemplating these potential losses, you cultivate gratitude for what you do have right now. It snaps you out of that grass is always greener mentality and helps you truly appreciate the present moment. Think about it. If you constantly worry about losing your job instead of just worrying, take a few minutes to imagine what it would actually feel like. Then, when you're back in your current job, you might find a renewed sense of appreciation, even for those annoying TPS reports. It's a mental kick in the pants that says, hey, things aren't so bad after all. Then there's journaling. This isn't just about writing down your grocery list. This is about deep self-reflection. Lebell encourages us to use journaling as a tool for introspection, to review our day, to assess our actions against our Stoic principles, and to plan for future challenges. It's like having a philosophical sparring partner right there on the pages of your notebook. You can ask yourself, did I act with wisdom today? Was I just to that annoying coworker? Did I show courage when I needed to? It's a powerful way to track your progress and identify areas for growth. Plus, it's way cheaper than therapy. Just kidding. Mostly. And Lebell really drives home the practical application of all of this. She's not just talking theoretical stuff. She's giving you actionable strategies. For example, let's say you're facing a massive presentation at work, and your anxiety is through the roof. A Stoic approach, guided by Lebell's insights, might look like this. 1. Identify what's in your control. You can control your preparation, your delivery, your attitude. You cannot control how the audience will react, or if the projector decides to spontaneously combust. Lebell stresses this fundamental Stoic dichotomy. Control what you can, accept what you can't. 2. Practice negative visualization. Imagine the worst-case scenario. You fumble your words, the slides glitch, you forget your key points. Now, how bad would that really be? Would the world end? Probably not. By contemplating this, the actual presentation seems less terrifying. 3. Use reason to challenge your fears. Are your fears rational? Is it likely you'll completely bomb? Or is your mind just playing tricks on you? Lebell encourages us to apply logic to our emotional responses. 4th, journal about it afterwards. Reflect on what went well, what could have been better, and how you managed your emotions. Did you exhibit courage by even getting up there? Absolutely. Or let's say you've just experienced a major setback, like a relationship ending or a job loss. Instead of spiraling into despair, Lebell's Stoic framework offers a lifeline. 1. Acknowledge the externality. The relationship job ending is an external event, outside of your direct control. You can't change it. 2. Focus on your internal response. What can you control? Your reaction, your attitude, your commitment to moving forward. Lebell empowers you to take ownership of your inner world. 3. Practice acceptance. This isn't resignation. It's a calm acknowledgement of reality. It's saying, okay, this happened. Now what? 4. Find the opportunity for growth. Every setback in Stoic philosophy is an opportunity to practice virtue. Can you show courage in rebuilding your life? Can you exercise wisdom in learning from the experience? Lebell guides you to reframe adversities as a training ground for resilience. See? This isn't just about reading a book. It's about a complete mental toolkit. Lebell doesn't just define Stoicism. She shows you how to do Stoicism. And that, my friends, is a game changer. The way she breaks down complex ideas into relatable, actionable steps makes Stoicism accessible to anyone, whether you're a philosophy buff or just someone trying to figure out why your cat judges you so much. It's like having a wise, calm friend whispering practical advice in your ear, helping you navigate the bumps and bruises of everyday life. This section alone, just understanding these core principles and getting a taste of the exercises, is worth the price of admission. It truly sets the stage for how impactful this little guide can be. Modern applications. Navigating 21st century challenges. So, we've talked about the ancient wisdom, the core principles, and the practical exercises. But let's get real. Does a philosophy developed thousands of years ago actually stand a chance against the onslaught of 21st century challenges? Can Stoicism really help us navigate the digital minefield of social media, the crushing weight of career uncertainty, or the existential dread of, well, just existing in 2025? Sharon Lebell says, heck yes. And after reading her guide, I'm inclined to agree. Let's start with the big one, social media pressures. Oh boy, where do we even begin? The curated highlight reels, the constant comparison traps, the FOMO, fear of missing out, that hits you like a ton of bricks when you see your high school nemesis on a yacht in Santorini. It's enough to make you want to throw your phone into the nearest ocean. But Lebell's take on Stoicism offers a powerful antidote. Think about it. Stoicism teaches us to distinguish between what's within our control and what isn't. Can you control what others post online? Nope. Can you control your reaction to it? Absolutely. Lebell's emphasis on emotional intelligence becomes a superpower here. Instead of mindlessly scrolling and letting envy or inadequacy fester, a Stoic approach encourages you to pause. Ask yourself, am I comparing myself to an idealized, often fake, version of someone else's life? Is this content serving me, or is it draining me? By applying reason, you can choose to disengage, to curate your feed more carefully, or to simply remind yourself that external opinions and curated images are indifferent. They have no power over your inner peace unless you give them that power. It's like having a built-in BS detector for all the digital noise. And then there's career uncertainty, layoffs, automation, the gig economy. It's a jungle out there, and sometimes it feels like you're just a tiny ant trying to survive. Lebell's Stoic guide is like a survival manual for your mind in this environment. When facing a potential job loss, for example, the natural instinct is panic. But Stoicism encourages a different path. Lebell would have you focus on what you can control, your skills, your network, your effort in seeking new opportunities. The outcome of the job search itself? That's largely external. By accepting this, you free up mental energy that would otherwise be wasted on anxiety. She also subtly encourages a mindset of adaptability and resilience. If one door closes, the Stoic asks, what new door can I build? It's not about being naive. It's about being pragmatic and mentally robust in the face of inevitable change. It's like being a mental ninja, always ready to pivot and adapt to whatever comes your way. Beyond these specific anxieties, Lebell's approach helps cultivate a deeper sense of stress management. Modern life is just stressful. From traffic jams to overflowing inboxes, it's a constant barrage. The Stoic practice of acknowledging the indifferent, things that are neither good nor bad in themselves, like bad weather or a delayed flight, is incredibly liberating. Lebell makes this concept so accessible. She encourages you to shift your perspective. instead of fuming about a traffic jam, which is completely out of your control. You can choose to see it as an opportunity for quiet reflection, or to listen to that podcast you've been meaning to check out. It's about choosing your response, rather than being a slave to external circumstances. This isn't about being emotionless. It's about being in control of your emotional responses, a skill that is priceless in our always-on world. And the ripple effects of this extend to every corner of your life. Let's talk about relationships. How many arguments have you had because of miscommunication, ego, or getting triggered by something relatively minor? Lebell's emphasis on justice and empathy can transform how you interact with others. By approaching conversations with a desire to understand, to treat others fairly, and to remember our shared humanity, you can de-escalate conflicts and foster deeper connections. When you realize that others' actions often stem from their own internal struggles, rather than being a direct attack on you, it changes everything. It's about being a compassionate observer, even when you really want to unleash your inner Hulk. In the workplace, a Stoic mindset cultivated by Lebell's guide can make you a more effective and resilient professional. Imagine facing a difficult client or a demanding boss. Instead of internalizing their frustrations, you can remember that their behavior is often a reflection of their issues, not yours. You can focus on doing your best work regardless of external pressures and maintain your inner calm. This leads to better decision-making, reduced burnout, and a generally more harmonious work environment. You become the unflappable anchor in the stormy seas of office politics. And ultimately, all of this contributes to overall well-being. We're talking about cultivating a sense of inner peace that isn't dependent on external circumstances. It's about finding contentment within yourself, rather than constantly chasing fleeting pleasures or external validation. Lebell's Stoic Guide is essentially a roadmap to a more resilient, calm, and purposeful existence in a world that often feels anything but. It's about building a mental fortress that can withstand the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or more likely, the endless notifications from your phone. And who wouldn't want that? This section alone could save you countless hours of stress and anxiety, offering a refreshingly practical way to navigate the craziness of modern living. It makes you think, wow, these ancient dudes really did have it figured out. Strengths and weaknesses, a critical analysis. All right, so far we've been pretty gung-ho about the Stoic Guide, and for good reason. But no book, no matter how brilliant, is perfect. And a truly practical review means we gotta look at the whole picture, warts and all. So, let's talk about the strengths, and yes, the potential weaknesses of Sharon Lebell's approach. Think of it as a philosophical pros and cons list, but way more fun. First, let's shower it with some well-deserved praise. The strengths of this book are undeniable, and they're what make it such a fantastic entry point into Stoicism. 1. Accessible language. This is probably its biggest superpower. Lebell writes with such clarity and simplicity that it feels like she's having a conversation with you over a cup of coffee, not lecturing you from a dusty podium. She strips away the academic jargon and makes complex, philosophical ideas incredibly easy to grasp. If you've ever tried to read Seneca or Epictetus in their original translations and felt like you needed a Rosetta Stone just to understand the first paragraph, then Lebell's book will be a breath of fresh air. It's like she took the ancient texts and said, let's make this make sense for people who also have to pay bills and deal with slow Wi-Fi. 2. Relatable examples. This isn't just theoretical mumbo-jumbo. Lebell peppers the book with practical, everyday scenarios that resonate with modern life. She doesn't talk about chariots and Roman baths. She talks about stress, relationships, and finding meaning in your daily routine. This makes the Stoic principles feel less like ancient history and more like a user manual for your current existence. When she illustrates a point with a scenario you've probably experienced, it just clicks. It's like she's saying, see? Stoicism isn't just for toga-wearing philosophers, it's for you. Third, actionable advice. This isn't a book that just describes Stoicism, it actively encourages you to do Stoicism. The focus is heavily on practical exercises and how to integrate these principles into your daily habits. It's not just about knowing what Stoicism is, it's about knowing how to be a Stoic. She gives you the mental tools and the instructions on how to use them, which is crucial for anyone looking for tangible change. You finish the book feeling like you have a clear game plan, not just a bunch of interesting ideas floating around in your head. So, it's pretty clear Lebell hits it out of the park with accessibility and practicality. But, like any good Stoic, we need to acknowledge the shadow side, the areas where it might not be the be-all and end-all for everyone. Let's talk about the potential weaknesses. 1. Limited diversity in perspectives. One area where the Stoic guide might fall a little short is in its breadth of perspectives. While Lebell beautifully distills the core teachings of key Stoic figures like Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, the book doesn't really venture much beyond these well-established voices. For a new explorer, this is great because it keeps things focused. However, for someone looking for a more comprehensive understanding of Stoicism's nuances or how it might intersect with other philosophical traditions, they might find it a bit narrow. It's like going to an all-you-can-eat buffet that only serves amazing pizza. The pizza is fantastic, but sometimes you crave a salad, you know? 2. Lack of in-depth philosophical exploration. This point ties into the previous one. While Lebell excels at simplifying Stoicism for practical application, those who are already deeply immersed in philosophy, or those who want to delve into the intricate arguments and historical context of Stoic thought, might find the book a bit superficial. It doesn't get into the nitty-gritty of Stoic physics or logic, or the debates among different Stoic schools. It's not meant to be an academic treatise, and that's part of its charm. But if you're looking for a deep dive into the philosophical weeds, this isn't the book that's going to provide that. It's like getting a fantastic summary of a complex novel. You get the gist, but you might miss some of the subtle plot points and character development. So, what's the verdict on this critical analysis? It's a balanced one, and that's what Stoicism is all about, right? The Stoic Guide absolutely shines as an accessible, practical, and highly relatable introduction to Stoicism. It's the perfect jumping-off point for anyone curious about this ancient philosophy and eager to apply it to their modern lives. However, it's not a comprehensive academic text, nor does it claim to be. Its strength lies in its simplicity and directness, which, by necessity, means it sacrifices some of the deeper, more nuanced philosophical discussions. Think of it this way. If you're learning to swim, Lebell's book is the perfect set of floaties and a patient instructor who gets you comfortable in the shallow end. You'll learn the strokes, gain confidence, and feel ready to paddle on your own. But if you want to become an Olympic swimmer and understand the hydrodynamics of every kick and stroke, you'll eventually need to dive into some more advanced training manuals. And that's perfectly okay. Knowing what a book is and what it isn't helps you appreciate its true value. This book is a gateway, and a remarkably effective one at that. Conclusion: is the Stoic Guide right for you? All right, we've journeyed through the ancient wisdom, explored its modern applications, and critically analyzed its strengths and weaknesses. We've laughed, we've learned, and hopefully, we've resisted the urge to panic about that pile of laundry. Now, for the million-dollar question, is Sharon Lebell's The Stoic Guide right for you? Let's tie it all together with a quick recap of our key takeaways. It's Your Stoicism 101. This book is, without a doubt, an exceptional entry point into Stoicism. If you've been curious about this philosophy, but felt intimidated by the dense texts or endless online articles, Lebell's guide is your golden ticket. It makes ancient wisdom feel fresh, relevant, and surprisingly easy to understand. Practicality is its middle name. This isn't just about theory, it's about action. Lebell gives you concrete tools and exercises, like negative visualization and journaling, that you can start using today to cultivate a more resilient and peaceful mind. It's a do-it-yourself guide for inner strength, a modern lifeline in our chaotic 21st century world, where anxiety, stress, and information overload are the norm. Stoicism, as presented by Lebell, offers practical strategies for managing your emotions, navigating social pressures, and finding calm amidst the storm. It's like a mental wellness retreat you can carry in your pocket. It's not the only book on the shelf. While brilliant, remember it's an introductory guide. If you're a seasoned philosopher looking for intricate debates or a historical deep dive, you'll eventually want to explore other resources. But for getting your feet wet and building a solid foundation, it's unparalleled. So, who is the Stoic Guide perfect for? 1. Beginners. If you're new to Stoicism and want a clear, concise, and engaging introduction without feeling overwhelmed, this book is practically tailor-made for you. 2. The Overwhelmed. If you're constantly feeling stressed, anxious, or just generally out of control in your daily life, the practical Stoic exercises offered by Lebell can provide a much-needed sense of grounding and empowerment. 3. The Self-Improver. If you're committed to personal growth and want to develop greater emotional intelligence, resilience, and a more positive outlook, this book offers a robust framework. 4. Anyone who thinks philosophy is boring. Lebell's writing style is anything but. She makes it fun, relatable, and genuinely interesting. You might just surprise yourself. Ultimately, deciding if the Stoic Guide is right for you comes down to your own goals and needs. Are you looking for a quick fix? Probably not, because Stoicism is a practice, a lifelong journey. But are you looking for a powerful, time-tested framework to help you navigate life's inevitable ups and downs with greater equanimity and purpose? Then, my friend, you just might have found your new best mental buddy. I truly believe that even if you only take a few key principles from this book and apply them consistently, you'll see a remarkable shift in your perspective and your ability to handle whatever life throws your way. It's not about becoming emotionless. It's about becoming more intentional, more resilient, and ultimately, more free. Now, here's where you come in. Have you read The Stoic Guide by Sharon Lebell? What were your thoughts? Did it change your perspective? Or perhaps you have another go-to book on Stoicism or a different self-help philosophy that has profoundly impacted your life. I want to hear all about it. Drop a comment below and let's get this conversation going. Your insights could be exactly what someone else needs to hear. And if you found this review helpful, entertaining, or just a little bit mind-expanding, please give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps us out and lets me know you're enjoying this kind of content. And of course, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on our next deep dive into the fascinating world of personal growth and ancient wisdom. We've got so much more to explore together. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today and embarking on this Stoic journey. Remember, you've got the power within you. Face anything. Now go forth and conquer your day, one wise decision at a time. Until next time, stay curious, stay calm, and keep being awesome.